Come on, baby, let the good times roll. Come on, baby, let me thrill your soul. Come on,
Richard Petty's voice in this song truly reflects his life in racing. He came from meager beginnings in the countryside of Randleman, North Carolina, born into a family of Southern-style stock car racers. Richard Petty's legend still grows. His father started it and then handed it over to Richard. It's an unforgettable chapter in American sports.
Well, when we first started racing, we had a little bitty place, a reaper shed with a dirt floor and all this kind of stuff. And then when I first started running, we did have a cement floor and a roof on it and some sides on the building. And, you know, I had no idea that it would come into anything like what it has now. I figured I could make a living out of it, and I've been fortunate enough to do it. And, you know, if it was more than a living, then that's just a plus on our side. This is where we lived when Daddy first got in the racing business. I guess I was 6 or 7, and I lived here till we was about 14 years old. My father, my brother, my mother, and myself all slept in the same bedroom. We had a small living room, a kitchen, and that was it. Since then, racing's been really good to us, and, you know, we've moved from this into something a whole lot better.
Something a whole lot better is a home built 2 years ago, and it is just 10 yards shy of being the length of a football field. Here Richard and his wife, Linda, catch a few fleeting minutes of time together before the next race begins.
Actually, he wasn't famous when I married him, so you see, I've kind of grown along with this too. But all in all, it's good, and I would feel bad that he was a person that was, you know, a noted person that you read about in the papers, and that when he went out, that nobody paid any attention to him. You know, I'm glad that the people think enough of him that they do want to come up and speak to him, or that they want his autograph. This shows that he's a well-thought-of person.
Richard will freely admit that his success has been a family affair throughout. Home for Richard Petty can be the place where his wife and 4 children live, or just down the road in the complexity of garages where the race cars are made. King Richard rules the racetrack, but here he is just one of the guys doing a job. His brother Morris is the man responsible for the finely tuned engines of the Petty team. Morris is rarely seen in Victory Lane. However, his work is nevertheless responsible for many of Richard's 184 NASCAR victories. With winnings in excess of $2.5 million and a working staff in Randleman of 30 or 40 employees, it's easy to see that Lee Petty, the father, can now relax a little bit and rule over the clan as a sort of chairman emeritus, and he enjoys it. Here at the Firecracker, Richard is still leading and has no problems. However, he has not been without problems in racing. Remember Darlington in that frightening crash? This was 7 years ago. Believe it or not, he walked away from it. He doesn't remember much about it, and he had a sore shoulder. But he's back racing again, full bore.
If a man gets in a race car and he thinks anything at all about hitting somebody or running into a wall or something like that, then he won't get in the race car and do any kind of job at all. He might go out there and run around, but he won't do any racing, and he will not be a winner. If you did think about the dangers, then the best thing for you to do is go look for another job. The reason I drive today is not as much for the money as I just love to drive a race car. I don't know if I love the competition as much as some of the other people do, but undoubtedly I do, or I wouldn't love driving a race car.